Boom! Hey, what is up, guys? So, do you know what is harder than trying to pull an all-nighter with edits? Work-life balance. What is up, guys? Thank you again for joining me on this creative grind journey on my YouTube channel, Yahography. Yeah, the work-life balance, man. I don't know how many times I've heard it during the pandemic. I think the pandemic was basically that brought it into the limelight, a work-life balance for me. Yeah, so thank you again for joining me on this channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate all the eyes and ears, and I am gladly, willing to share all my knowledge that I've acquired over these years. And hopefully it'll be useful to anyone that is coming up and coming, already in the industry, or even a veteran and want to hear different perspectives. So yeah, thank you for supporting this channel. But yeah, work-life balance, man. I mean, for me personally, it was the 2020 pandemic that kind of brought it all to life. My youngest daughter was born, and there was, a lot of, like any parent during the pandemic that had kids at home, away from school, there was this equilibrium that you had to kind of focus on to, work, make sure your kid has a good education remotely for the first time. In my case, me and my wife were, mainly my wife had to, attend to the newborn's needs and all of that. So I think the pandemic definitely brought that in the forefront, and I think that's why I want to make this video, because before the pandemic, I did not really think of it. I always felt like, oh, the more you grind, the better. The more you just push through it, the better. But, it takes a toll on your mental health, man. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't, mental health wasn't even a thing for me. Like, I would never think about it. But then, like I said, the 2020 pandemic brought a whole new perspective in how you should have that work-life balance, to balance yourself first, and from there, by having yourself balanced, then you can kind of be a better father, a better professional in your line of work. In my case, being creative in what I do. So yeah, and hence why I want to make this talk about this particular topic today. Again, in my car. I really wish I could set things up at home to kind of have a more conversational setting, but time is money, and I'm gonna do where it fits my busy schedule. I want to bring up like 5 points that would kind of I pondered upon a lot in terms of reflection, and what I think work-life balance should be for any creator that is looking to pursue this as a career in the future, or is in it already. So these are my 5 points, and yeah, let's get into it. So I think the first thing is definitely self-discipline. I think having a good work-life balance, I think you do need some form of self-discipline. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. Now, when I mean self-discipline in this line of work is like, being proficient in hitting deadlines consistently, taking care of your equipment, giving yourself enough time to prep. Like, all of those elements are a form of self-discipline, and having that ingrained in your workflow, I think, will be instrumental into setting yourself up to create those really good habits, to kind of push yourself when things are when you're tired, when you're sleepy, those are those like instinctively good behaviors that you need to have, or you need to train yourself to have. Sorry, going up a high altitude, so my ears are popping. Gotta like clear it so that I could hear myself. Anyway, so having those in your back pocket, being it second nature to just pop out when you need to take care of your equipment, hitting due dates, making sure you're on track to finishing a project. Like all that stuff is super important to kind of create that behavior of self-discipline, and by doing so it will kind of progress in your other parts of life too. I'm not a philosopher or anything, but in my personal experience, just being sure that I'm organized with my projects, I hit my deadlines, I'm making sure I'm taking care of my equipment. Those are all like risk management types of self-discipline that will help you in being consistently pushing out good work. So number one, self-discipline. I think that's key to kind of having the first step into creating a good work-life balance for yourself. So the next thing that I want to talk about is knowing your limits. Now, in the beginning of this video, I talk about the mental state of mind, right? I think mental state is definitely like knowing how much you can take, right? So having that self-discipline will kind of will ground you in a way where like, okay, I have X amount of due dates, I'm not going to take any more projects. So you will know the capacity of what you can do mentally. Now, when it comes to knowing your limits too, it's not just about the mental side, it's also about your physical side, right? So, taking care of yourself. Like I think, again, I'm not a saint, but I think, there are days that I, binge on, junk food or whatever, right? But I think having I want to say like an 80-20 percentage range of like 80 eating good, 20% you have your cheat days and whatnot, just to keep you healthy, so that it's a physical job, right? So you want to make sure that you also keep your asset, right? Your the hands are my asset, my eyes are my asset. So eating a lot of vegetables, or carrots for your eyes, or working out, doing some form of meditation to like give you a peace of mind. And your body is your asset, so you have to make sure, your mind and body is your asset, especially if you want to be in the creative field. So just taking care of yourself, that way you can kind of know your limit of what you can. And maybe there are some instances where you can kind of push your limit too. But remember, the more you keep pushing, obviously the better you'll become. But again, knowing your capacity will also keep you consistently providing good work. So consistency, I think, is the key word here. Like being more consistent in providing good work will create more jobs and create more relationships that you can build in the future to kind of keep your career going consistently as well. So yeah, knowing your limits, man, that's super important, I guess, in this industry. So the third point may or may not apply to you, but I prioritize my family's time ahead of everything else. Obviously I'm a father, and I would want to raise my kids in a way that I was raised, teaching them values that I've been taught. And same thing with my wife as well, teaching values that she has learned to our kids. So my schedule obviously evolves around them, and making sure that I spend more family time with them, but also at the same time having that balance of doing jobs, creative jobs that obviously help sustain the family and help like setting us up for the future and setting them up for the future. So it's a lot, right? Like you're balancing jobs, you're balancing your family, you're balancing time with them, you're balancing being a father, being a husband. So I think prioritizing your family will, at least for me, prioritizing time with family would definitely put everything into perspective for you. Maybe if you don't have a family, maybe you have, I don't know, your girlfriend, your significant other, your better half, like, that balancing that with your work will definitely help you in the long run. Because for me, again, you may disagree with me. For me, my success is my family's success, right? That's how I see it. So having them good will make me good in a better state of mind, so that I can pursue, different types of projects that I'll be in a good mental state to kind of pursue those projects. So yeah, the prioritizing your family, or prioritizing things that you care about, whether it's, it doesn't have to be specifically, with your wife, with your kids, but it could be, with your parents, I don't know if you're close to your cousin, like having that support system with you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, spending time with your support system. I think that's key, because you probably can't see me right now. I just realized that I went in a tunnel. So let's do a time lapse real quick to get out of the tunnel. And in the meantime, we're gonna play some maybe some music. How about that? I guess you guys didn't know, if you're not from Hawaii, we have tunnels in Hawaii, just so you know. But yeah, all right, we're approaching the end. Here we go. Lights, camera, action. Boom. That was impromptu. Anyway, so as I was saying, I think I was talking about, spending time with your support system. I think that's how I guess had that thought process of just talking about my family. So yeah, spending time with your support system, your family, whatever that is, I think that would help you in the long run in your career in this industry, particularly because it's not an 8-to-5 job per se. It varies, right? It varies in time. I do have 8-to-5 with the R&D company, but it doesn't stop at 5. Like, I could be finishing up work late at night or early in the morning. It doesn't matter. Like it's like, it's not consistency in time, but just having that support system that knows and understands what your day-to-day work life is. I think that helps, because there's empathy involved, and when there's empathy involved, there's care, and when there's care involved, you feel supported, and when you feel supported, you do better. Spend time with your family, spend time with your support system, and whatever that support system may be. Number 4, to have a good work-life balance, you need to protect your creativity. Now, I'm gonna put in the link above. I don't know which side. I think it's this side. I forgot which side. Anyway, link above. I did talk about this in, I think, my first video in 2025. There are different ways to kind of help you stay creative, and one of it is protecting your creativity by doing what helps you be creative. So for me, for instance, is watching different shows, watching all I guess YouTube content creators that I like, to help keep me inspired, because you should have that forever student mindset or forever learning mindset, because if you don't grow, your creativity is going to be stagnant. If you don't help your creativity grow, whether it's watching something, whether it's trying different techniques, different methods in filming or in shooting, editing, like, I don't think you're gonna grow. You're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be stuck in this plateau. I mean, it's exactly like working out. Like, if you keep doing the same exercise over and over again, you're just gonna hit this like plateau, and you're not gonna grow, right? So you wanna, I guess, keep your body guessing. Same thing with creativity. You gotta keep creating and keep pushing your creativity to kind of help stay, or not help stay, but to help protect your creativity. So if you're going to be in this industry, you have to learn some way, shape, or form, or find that muse, I guess, to help you stay creative, help you push your boundaries of creativity. And yeah, that speaking from experience, that actually helps me have a better work-life balance because I know I can keep providing or keep enhancing my creativity. Hope that makes sense. But not least, number 5, man, stop glorifying the burnout. I probably mentioned this in, I forgot which episode, but there was a period of time when, I guess at my tenure at Propel USA, where we were shooting like every single day and, editing every single day. The burnout was just brutal. Like, we used to get 2 days off, and every time I get 2 days off, like, dude, I'm just like I'm crushed. Like, I just want to sit down in the living room or like just sleep in bed and not get out. Like, you're so burnt out to the point where you just don't wanna lay in bed. Like, you don't have a life after that. So I think us as creators, man, like, we should just stop glorifying it, and having that self-discipline from the get-go will allow you to kind of putting things into perspective, in the sense where you're gonna prioritize certain things, just like how you take care of your cameras, just as how you're more focused on making sure you hit those deadlines. Having that self-discipline will help you prevent burnouts, because then you're going to start prioritizing or having that thought of risk managing yourself. So making sure that, you don't, knowing your limits, like, you're not getting, like, accepting projects at the point where you're going to be super tired. Just balancing that out. Like, I think if you have the mindset of like, oh, I'm just in the grind. Yeah, you're gonna lose out mentally and physically. I have known photographers and videographers where they were working so much, especially like during those peak wedding seasons in Hawaii. And sometimes you get like a 5 o'clock makeup call, a check-in time. And because you're so tired, you didn't wake up and you didn't show up. You know what I mean? Like, that's burnout. That's what happens when you're burnt out. You're working too much to the point where your body doesn't function normally, and you won't even hear your alarm clock. And that's happened to me too. I mean, thankfully, I'm a snoozer, so I made sure, or I tell my wife, hey, I got an early morning tomorrow. If I don't wake up at this time, could you help me wake up too? So again, support system, right? Like, my family's my support system. My wife is, absolutely my rock, my pillar. So that helps, right? But if you glorify burnout, then I can guarantee you, physically, mentally, you're going to be screwed. Like, I've seen it, I've heard it. I know people who went through it and, regret it, not taking the time to just keep themselves, mind, body, and soul as a whole. And they suffered from that consequence. So having that mental state of mind of like taking care of yourself, getting enough sleep, prioritize, or like organize a time management where you can, set deadlines so you don't have to rush things. I've seen it many times where when you're rushing for something, that's when mistakes happen, and that's when the pressure happens, and then that's how accidents happen. So, again, I'm not perfect. I have done mistakes, but from what I've learned from it, these are the top 5 things that I think help me stay afloat in this industry. And giving me that work-life balance. So yeah, I really hope that these points that I just mentioned come across to some of you. Some of you maybe could have relate to it. And keep in mind, nobody's perfect, right? But just having that risk management to know, like, hey, if I keep doing this, there's gonna be a hole somewhere where I might fall into. So keeping that in mind, and just taking care of yourself. I think that's just to simplify. Taking care of yourself mentally and physically will help you be more consistent in this industry. So I really hope that this resonates to people that want to be in the industry, and basically give them a heads up, like it happens, like, you know, and you don't have to grind, and then suffer the consequence after that. So remember, take care of yourself, work-life balance, and yeah, if this content resonates with you, man, please comment, like, and subscribe. I would love to share more. And even if you don't, I'm still going to share more either way. Like, I think I'm at a point where I just want to share. Like, doing this for a while, I think that's how much value I think I can provide to somebody out there want to strive in this industry, you know, whether it's in Hawaii or somewhere else, different parts of the world. Yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for listening, and thank you for coming back. Definitely appreciate that. So till next time, I will see you all in the next video. Peace.